Hello and welcome to the Golden Playbook. Today we are going to recap Thursday night's football game and look ahead to Sunday's slate, go over some start-sit decisions. We're going to scroll the Facebook again like we did last week to see what the fantasy community is looking for in the start-sit world. See if that can help you out, see what takes I have for certain players going into week 3. Maybe you have similar questions, and if you do, drop them down in the comments. I will be happy to answer any start-sit questions while you're down there. Make sure you hit the subscribe button for more content. Without further ado, let's get straight into Thursday night's game. We're going to recap this bad boy. It was a 31-21 victory for Buffalo Bills over the Miami Dolphins. And to be honest, this game was probably closer than we thought it was. Miami was looking pretty competent until that bad Tua interception in the fourth quarter, as well as the bad penalty on the punt that led to Bills getting an extra drive. But with that being said, another game that James Cook dominates, and they are leaning on him more and more. He is an absolute stud, going for 19 carries, 108 yards, and a touchdown. Funny story, I went against James Cook last week, who obviously had 130 yards and 2 touchdowns, and then this guy trades James Cook to my week 3 opponent. So back-to-back weeks of James Cook absolutely shellacking me. Hopefully I can overcome it and still win the week, but I am tired of going against James Cook. He is an absolute beast, and I'm tired of it. Josh Allen, 3 passing touchdowns, obviously comes home. Only ran 4 times. You have to think, coming off of the kind of nose injury that he suffered last week, they wanted to be a little more careful with him and not just keep running the ball. So I expect his rushing to kind of increase as the face-nose injury gets a little bit better. As for the receiver side of things, Dalton Kincaid, another solid game, 5 for 66 and a touchdown, led the team in targets once again, looking like Dalton Kincaid usage might be more similar to his rookie season as opposed to last year. Only we can hope. And then Khalil Shakir, 4 catches, 45 yards and a touchdown. Again, only 4 targets, so you're not very encouraged by his kind of target share. If not for the touchdown catch, obviously it's only a 4 for 45 game, and we're not that pleased about it. So Khalil Shakir is kind of a shaky flex play at this point. Hopefully you have a better option to put in there. As for Keon Coleman, unfortunately, his week 1 is seeming like more of a fluke. The Bills are just not in these games very often where they have to go kind of a shootout mode like they were with Baltimore Ravens. And when that's the case, Keon Coleman just doesn't get involved. 4 targets. You can see they like to share the wealth. A lot of receivers getting catches, getting targets for this Buffalo Bills offense. They have the mantra, everybody eats. And unfortunately, that's not good for fantasy options. But James Cook, always starting him. Josh Allen, of course, always starting him. And then Dalton Kincaid is turning around to be a solid tight end play at this point. For the Miami side of things, Tua looked pretty bad, to be honest with you. I was going to say he looked okay, but he just didn't. He looked bad. No zip on his passes. Feels like his feet are never ready to throw the ball. It's always parallel to the line of scrimmage. I don't know what's going on, if he's got like happy feet because the O-line is so bad. I don't know what it is, but Tyreek Hill comes home, 5 for 49 and a touchdown on 10 targets, which leads the team. Very encouraging to see for Tyreek owners. Missed a deep ball that I feel like he should have caught too, but that's besides the point. Jalen Waddle came in with the questionable tag from the shoulder, ended up with 5 for 39 and a touchdown, and felt like every catch he had was on a 3rd down, 4th down, big play. So good to see for Jalen Waddle. Devon Achane kind of comes home with the 7 receptions for 29 yards. Of course, that's what he's going to do. Got the 9 targets, 62 yards on the ground, so honestly pretty good. Unfortunately, Ollie Gordon did get the goal line carry, so vultured that touchdown from him. But overall, Miami side of things, people came home a little bit, but nothing too crazy. Would really like to see Tua kind of step up his game. I feel like he's really holding down this offense. We're not asking him to do anything crazy. Just be ready to throw the ball on time like he did a few years ago. But enough blabbering about the game. Let's get into some start-sit decisions. We're going to scroll the Facebook community and see what people are looking for in their start-sit decision. All right, so we are in this fantasy football Facebook group. We're just going to scroll through and see. First guy here is asking Ertz or Ferguson at the tight end. I'm going to lean Ferguson. That Dallas-Chicago game should absolutely be a shootout. At least it's a very good matchup on paper for Dallas. I expect them to throw the ball a lot, and Ferguson got involved last week, which was great to see, so I expect more of the same. With Reed out, does that give Kraft more targets? Obviously, Tucker Kraft suffered the knee injury in practice. We'll have to see if he goes. If he goes, I'm happily rolling him out there. But would look to see if there are any backup options on the wire. Harold Fan and Juwan Johnson. If they're still out there, I would get a little backup plan going. BTG is about to be bust of the year. We'll see. I think BTJ bounce back coming soon. PPR start Chase Brown or Jordan Mason. This one is tough. Honestly, you'd hope to get both in your lineup. But honestly, I'm going to have to go Jordan Mason. He's got the backfield to himself. He's got the kind of nutted matchup. So, and with the backup quarterback in Cincinnati, I don't expect a lot of running lanes for Chase Brown, who's already been pretty inefficient. So give me Jordan Mason. Go Mariota or Browning. Honestly, I'm going to take Browning there. I think he's just going to throw the ball over the yard. It might not look pretty, might not be a good, real life NFL quarterback, but at the end of the day, he's going to put up some fantasy points. This guy wants Myers and McBride for me. Blah, blah, blah. Jaden doesn't play this week. Who are we picking up? I would pick up, from those options, honestly, Geno. Going against Washington, I expect Brock Bowers to be a little bit healthier. I think Geno could have a good bounce back here. Don't love those options, obviously. Who should he start at wide receiver? Myers, Evans, or Debo without JD5? Half PPR. I give the slight lean to Mike Evans, just with Emeka being banged up. I think Mike Evans' role will need to be large this week. And then I go Myers and then Debo. Although it's close. All three guys are definitely startable. Is Monangai worth the start if Swift is out? I certainly hope you have a better option than Monangai. But if you have to, he'll probably get you 6-7 fantasy points. Defense for the week, Seahawks for sure. Going against the New Orleans Saints, top 5 defense. Start Hampton or Ridley. This is tough. I lean Ridley. I think they're going to get it going at some point, and Hampton's going against a tough Denver defense. So I'm going Calvin Ridley there, especially if it's PPR. If it's standard half PPR, I lean potentially more to Hampton. If Emeka is a no-go, choose one. PPR, Marvin Harrison, Tet McMillan, Cortland Sutton. I lean T-Mac there if Igbuka doesn't go. Igbuka or Mason in the flex, I'd say Mason personally. He's just going to get such a big workload this week. Etienne or Kenneth Walker. If Charbonnet doesn't play, definitely Kenneth Walker. If Sharbs does play, I lean Etienne there. Can start 2. Breece Hall, Etienne, Flowers, Olave. I lean Breece Hall and Zay Flowers, although, none of those options are too bad. Flex 1, Pittman Jr., Tucker Kraft, Franklin. If Kraft plays, it'll be Kraft. If he doesn't play, Michael Pittman Jr. Kittle hurt, now Goddard hurt. Oh, that's an old one. Let's see. Igbuka and Golden for Rome Odunze. I personally would not give up Igbuka, but this guy says, I have Ashton Genty and Amari Hampton. I think my season is cooked. I wouldn't give up on it so soon. Davis Maddock actually put out a really good video about why rookie running backs always start slow. So if you haven't gone and checked that out, I recommend you do so. He is great. It's a great video to give you a little more confidence about your rookie running backs. Hampton or JCM as the running back to full PPR. I lean Hampton for sure there. Trade offer, Jamar Chase for George Kittle and Brian Thomas Jr. Honestly, either way. I mean, I understand wanting to get rid of Chase, but Browning's going to suffice for you. Kittle's still in the IR and BTJ hasn't shown you anything. So if you want to buy low on BTJ, I guess. But, I'm not crazy about it. If Jaden Daniels is out, who are we going with? Current backup is Darnold. Not Stafford. Philly's defense. The way Philly plays, you're not going to get that many plays against them. Honestly, Browning's fine to put in for the week. Geno's fine. Carson Wentz, could have a solid game. Let's see. Who should he start? A.J. Brown or Pickens? You kind of have to start A.J. Brown because that big boom game is coming at some point. But Pickens' matchup against Chicago is obviously a good one we're trying to attack with Ferguson, with Lamb, and with Pickens. So I wouldn't blame you for starting Pickens, but I personally would start A.J. Brown. Tet or DK? Tet for me, for sure. Should he trade McBride, Keenan Allen for Igbuka and Tyler Warren? Nah, I'd probably hold on to my 2 there, to be honest. Pick 3 to start this week. Marv, Pickens, QJ, Scatabo, Franklin. So pick 3, I would do the top 3 receivers for sure. Harrison, Pickens, Johnston. Ertz, Kelsey, or Fannin rest of season. Give me Fannin, honestly. Kelsey's kind of looking old and washed, especially once Rashi gets back. I think his role will be very diminished. And Zach Ertz is fine, but I think Harold Fannin's upside is just massive. Herbert, May, Jones, or Love? Herbie. All day, every day, baby. Who to start? Give me Keenan Allen between Keenan, Marv, and Romeo Dobbs. Non-PPR league, got offered A.J. Brown and Shakir for Hall, Scatabo, and Waddle. Yeah. Non-PPR, I'd do that. Get those running backs. Scatabo's looking like going to be the goal line back there. Breece Hall. I would absolutely do that. Shakir's basically a non-value in non-PPR. Coleman or Pearsall? Well, we're a little late to this. Hopefully he chose Pearsall because Coleman did not do great. Drake May or Bo Nix? I lean Drake May there. Very slightly. Got offered T. Higgins and Darnell Mooney for Terry McLaurin. I lean the T and Darnell side, but not crazy about any of those pieces, to be honest. Start Daniel Jones or Bo Nix. I lean Daniel Jones there. That until that Colts offense shows us something different, I think you got to just keep rolling them out. Pick 1 to start full PPR. Metcalf, Keenan Allen, T. Higgins. This might sound crazy, but Keenan Allen pretty easily for me this week. Let's do a couple more here. Solid RB that you could get in return for Nico. I mean, obviously I don't know what you're going to be able to get. Maybe an Ashton Genty or someone like that, but not looking great. Kyron and DK for Nico and Rashi. Yeah, I don't know why the Kyron team would do that, but definitely Nico and Rashi. Chase Brown or BTJ, it's a 6-man league. I would lean Chase Brown. Let's get one more good one here. Here's a good one. Pearsall, Olave, or Pollard in my flex. It is a PPR. I lean Tony Pollard. I just think his workload is so massive. He's got to get in the end zone at some point. Hopefully he gets a little more work in the pass game. Would love to see that obviously evolve. But he's going to get 18, 20 touches in this game. Hopefully he finds the pay dirt. I like Tony Pollard above those receivers. And that is going to do it for our little start sit Q&A via Facebook. Like I said earlier, if you have your own start sit questions, please drop them in the comments. I'd be happy to answer for you for this week 3. This is a big week to get the dub. Doesn't matter what's happened through 2 weeks. If we're 2-0, 0-2, doesn't matter. Week 3 is a big one. If you have tilting questions, drop them down in the comments. While you're down there, make sure you smash the like button and hit the subscribe button to help grow the channel. I really do appreciate it. I appreciate all the support from you guys. We'll catch you on the next one. Peace. Subscribe, you guys, subscribe.